this is Don Kedal with another Israel Report, and today I have a special program for you guys because I'm telling you I'm so excited. I just don't know, I have no words to express how excited I am about today's news, because today there's actually good news from this land to report about. Most of the news that you're going to hear about, of course, is about the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, and you're going to hear about BDS and the boycott movements and all these different things that you hear about Israel and that comes up in the news searches. If you search Israel-Palestinian conflict, that's the first thing that's going to just fly at your face. But what's happening today, guys, in Israel is there is a new thing happening. And I mean new as in the sense of it's like unbelievable. Moshe Ya'alon, who was the former defense minister now, has just stepped down from the government. He has decided that he is going to leave politics once and for all. As he's been in politics, I don't know what has happened, but in my opinion, he has made some huge mistakes. For one, just a few months ago, there was an Israeli soldier that had eliminated a terrorist in Hebron that tried to kill one of the soldiers, one of his fellow soldiers. And so he saw the terrorist, according to his words. I wasn't there. I was an eyewitness. I don't know. I can't say for sure, but I can tell you that our military is one of the most moral militaries in the world. And according to the soldier's report or his testimony, he said it looked like the terrorist was going for an explosive belt. So he did what the protocol tells you: shoot to eliminate. If you feel that there's a threat, an imminent threat to the lives of yourself, your soldiers, and those around you, the civilians, you must act immediately. You can't just wait. In fact, because soldiers in the past have hesitated, then they've been killed. And I can tell you scores of stories of how the military's inaction has caused us, or immediate action has actually caused us, loss of life. So in my opinion, based on what I've heard, what I've seen in the media trying to make a spin on it, the politicians trying to make a spin on it, each one trying to put his little thing about it, they've blown it out of proportion. And we probably won't ever really know what happened. But like I said, to begin with, the Israeli military is the most moral military in the world. And I know this because I served in it. So this young man is now on trial. And here's the interesting thing. Moshe Ya'alon, he was the one that pretty much headed this political pressure against the soldier, and immediately going out to the press and making a statement before they've even investigated. See, there's a whole protocol in the military, and he just went ahead, I don't know why, and decided to basically grill this kid, grill this young man, and make him into a bad guy, make him into a perpetrator, make him into a murderer. Friends, he stopped and killed a terrorist that was trying to murder. There's a big difference. There's a huge difference. So something phenomenal has happened. With Moshe Ya'alon out of the way, now Lieberman has taken his place. Now Lieberman, just so you understand, he months ago has declared, in the beginning of this new phase of Antifada, the Antifada of the knife they call it, or the Antifada of the Al-Aqsa. Come on, you know, there is no change of status quo. The status quo is the same. Muslims are the only ones that get to pray on the Temple Mount. They're the only ones that get to hackle and harass other people, while our police and our security forces enforce that. And because of this wave of terror, what has happened is Lieberman was one of the few politicians that stood up and said, you know what, enough is enough. We have to take a strong stance against this terrorism, and what we need to do is we need to execute the penalty of the death penalty. Israel doesn't have a death penalty. It's crazy. The only one that has been put to death in our legal system in this country has been Eichmann. He's the only one that has been given the death penalty in this country since its founding and since 70 years. So, you know, to say that this is an extreme thing, no. It's about time that we treat murderers, okay? Terrorists who are murderers for who they are, murderers, okay? There's nothing wrong with executing a person who tried to take other people's lives. And this is what he's declared as he has now taken the place of Moshe Ya'alon as defense minister. And by God's grace, I pray and I hope that Lieberman is going to stand strong, and he's going to do the job that he has been now commissioned to do, which is to ensure the safety and the security of the Israeli civilians. Another thing that's awesome that happened, thanks to Moshe Alon moving out of politics altogether, not just getting another post in the Likud party, he's out of the party. That opened up another position for Rabbi Yehuda Glick, my hero. Rabbi Yehuda Glick, who was championing the Temple Mount cause for years, before Cry for Zion even came along the scene, and before we came with our petition. In fact, it was people like him that really motivated me to make a stance. It was him, it was Rabbi Shlomo Goren, who was the head of the first rabbi head of the rabbinic part of the military, who had to set up the new prayers and ethics and so on and so forth. An incredible man. And I'm telling you that this wonderful Rabbi Yehuda Glick, who is literally laid his life down on the line for the Temple Mount cause, for Jewish prayer on the Temple Mount, but not just for that, but for prayer for all nations on the Temple Mount. So that is the reality, guys, is people like Yehuda Glick are now being labeled extremists. It's crazy. And there's even an MK in our government who has said that he's not even going to be at the swearing in of Yehuda Glick. Listen, for me, it's an honor and a privilege to have people like Yehuda Glick representing us, to have people like Lieberman, who is now going to be the head of the defense, who have said a lot of things. I want to see some action from these guys. I want to see what they can put into action while in the government, while in some very important positions. As Yehuda Glick is not going to have an important position to hold, he's still going to be representing the nation of Israel in the government. And that's important, and that's awesome. That's having somebody else who fears God and does not stand down to the intimidation of the religion of secularism and the religion of appeasement that is taking over the West and is trying also to take over this nation. This is another report from Israel, and again, I hope you're encouraged by these news, because these are good news, friends. We will see something good come out of this. I believe so in the next coming months. This is Doron Kedar reporting to you from Israel. Have a blessed day. May God bless you. Shalom.